Oh, what's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Shar. Come here with me. Come here with me. Yes, honey, you get the picture. Today we're going to talk about Miss Melody, honey, and I want to talk about what others are saying about her and what they think of her, right? So I got a chance finally to sit down and watch the recap of Carlos King's recap of Love and Marriage Huntsville Reunion Part 1 with Mr. Dustin Ross. And I have to say, guys, I didn't get a chance to listen to probably about 30% of that interview. And it really, really was a good recap. It was good. I don't have nothing negative to say about it. I think that Carlos was able to stay neutral. I think that he was able to hold his own ground. And again, I did not finish the whole interview, so don't come on over here talking about, Shar, what are you talking about? Honey, I'm saying what I saw, what I did see, okay? But listen, this all comes after the Twitter comment of them saying that Melody started to remind them of NeNe Leakes. She thinks she's bigger than the show. And Carlos asked Mr. Dustin Ross, how does he feel about that? And he was very honest. I am a millimeter. However, I don't think that she's infallible. I don't think she's without fault. I don't think that she don't make mistakes. He says, I do think, she has poor choices like everybody else has poor choices. There's no difference from her and everybody else. He says he wished that she can leave certain stuff, where's it at, and not give it that much energy, and give things a little bit more grace. I did hear him say that. And I want to read to you guys, because I'm not going to play the video, because you know that different type of community guidelines apply, and I'm going to stay safe over here. But I want to read to you guys a little things that he said after asking him what did he feel about the comment section. He says, listen, this is what people fail to realize. He says Melody is responding to people on this cast that has created distance between her and them, right? He says she's not really acting out like she's just doing it because she thinks she's NeNe Leakes, or she's giving this NeNe Leakes attitude. He says he can see the comparison in her and NeNe Leakes, but Melody is not just going off the limb thinking she's so big. He says that she is responding to the distance that others has put in between her and them, okay? He says, so to basically come back and says that she's hardy and better than the show, whatever that means, that's not the case, although that's what is given off. But she's just responding. He says, but she can't think she's better than the show because Melody is the show. Woo, child. He let the law down. He let the law down. He says, who set laws? Let me just keep it a G with y'all, right? He says, but she can't think she's better because Melody is the show. He said this show was created around Martell and Melody Hope and their relationship between people around them. The show never been about a Letitia and Marcel relationship or Kimmy and Maurice relationship. He says, at least not yet. He says the show never been about those others. Melody and Martel are the undeniable nucleus of the show. Woo, child, they gonna shut you down, honey. He says Melody and Martel are the nucleus of the show. He said it is what it is. Melody has proven to be quite resilient, so much so she has consistently enter into new spaces, okay, in the media. He says he loved her in the space of hosting Behind Every Man show. He loves her in that space. He goes on to say she was an incredible host. He says he was good, and I want to see her do more of that. She is she is deserving of the opportunities that are going to come her way. He says from her being visible, for her being on such a high level, because everybody watches Love and Marriage Huntsville. He says, why wouldn't she take the opportunity? It should then. At least I would think that. Little of the other cast, amongst the others members, to be like, oh, instead of bringing out these puppets, should be putting myself out there instead. He says everybody wants to lean into this mom, stay at home mom narrative. He says, but where's your podcast that you are consistent to weekly? He says, where are your pilots that you are from? Where's the pilots for this podcast, stating what you're talking about? I'm a mom, I'm a stay-at-home mom. He says, get something behind that, right? And I think that's true facts, you know what I mean? Like, can we get something? He says, you could be doing the same thing she could be doing. He says, turn it into a fertility, He says, you could be gainful as well. You could be gainful yourself. He says, if you are not about it, why are you just sitting around. He says, if you're not doing anything, why are you just sitting around? He says, Melody is smart. She's wise. She's basically using her platform for what she could use it for. You know what I mean? Her peak. And that's what people has to understand. This is her peak season and she's using it. She knows that she has limited amount of time to get what she got to get out there. And honey, she ain't wasting no time. He says, one of the things I think everybody forgets, and here's the key point, guys, that I can respect, right? He says, I think one of the key points that everybody forget, he says, everyone is here at the crossroad because Martel did this. Let me read it again. He says, we are here. And he says, I think everybody forgets that we are here at the crossroad because Martel did this. What he's saying is she's entitled to act the way she is. Not that she's acting like she's bigger, but Martel did this. So now this is the end result. Right? So she's walking into her destiny. This was something that just landed on her lap and she's walking full fold into it. Right? She's smart, she wise, and she recognized she had a limited amount of time. And I thought a lot of what he said was so true. It was very profound. What he said was, I don't hold her no higher than I hold anybody else. However, I respect her position because of all the hell she went through. She used it and turned a negative into a positive, and rightfully so. You too can be doing the same thing. If you guys get a chance, go watch this video. It was a good video, and it had a lot of key points in it. I gave you guys the gist of it. Matter of fact, I gave you that whole portion of that question that Carlos asked him, and I think he has a really good point. He hit him on the head. Melody is the way she is, not because she thinks she's bigger than the show, because she is the show. She's the nucleus, right? Her and Martel, as much as we don't want to admit it, but it's her and Martel, right? He says basically there was never a conversation that would incorporate either Tisha Marceau, Kimmy, and Maurice to be like, okay, you guys, I need you here. Let's center around this. Let's center around that. So why are we acting as if she's not entitled to where God has allowed her to be in this season of life? He makes it plain. He makes it clear, guys. I liked it. He basically says she has flaws like everybody else. There's no difference, right? She makes mistakes like everybody else. He even went on to say she could grant Kimmy a little bit more grace. You know what I mean? And he wished that she wouldn't give certain things that kind of energy, but it is what it is, right? But he's a millimeter, right? And he respects her position. So no, she isn't like NeNe Leakes to a certain extent, right? NeNe Leakes was doing it because she did start to think that she was above the TV show. But in Melody's case, he says that that's not her. Basically, why we're here is because her man cheated on her. Her husband cheated on her with the side chick. The side chick was publicly announced. And now the aftermath was that is because you was faithful, here is your reward. Pow, boop, bop, bang. Okay, listen, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Is she deserving of it or what? Right? Meet me in the comment section. Turn your notification on. Hit the like button and subscribe. Bye.